Deputy Vice-Chancellor Administration, Professor Ali Shehu, the Registrar of the University, Madam Abdul, Dean of Student Affairs Division, Director, Center for Continuing Education and Professional Development, Director, Environmental Safety, Deputy Dean, Student Affairs, officials of the Student Representative Council, staff of the Students Affairs Division. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. We welcome you to the meeting between the Vice-Chancellor of the University, the committee set up to drive the election of the student union government of the university, and also the Dean of Student Affairs Division. May I request that we use a few seconds and pray for the success of this meeting.
Directors and deans here present, officials of our student and the SRC, other staff of the Student Affairs Division. Good morning to all of us. I want to first of all tender apology for the short notice for this meeting, and it's part of proactiveness in the system. It is usually good for management to be proactive, because that is the only thing that can save our resources and save our time. We must not wait until when something happens before we start looking for what causes, making recommendations, wasting our time in investigation. So the reason why we are here is on two major issues. The first one is the student union government. There was a time when federal government sent presidential visitation panel to all the universities, at least to look at the concern of all the stakeholders in our various universities, particularly the federal universities. And students are also stakeholders in the university system. And when the visitation panel came, particularly to Federal University of Lafia, one of the issues that was noted by the presidential visitation panel is the absence of student union government in the university. So, but even though there are stakeholders that made presentation to the panel, raising concern for lack of the student union government to this panel. But then, sometimes people just try to present issues based on their own emotion or interest. But nobody was able to present to them the reason why we don't have student union government in place. So, and the university, under normal circumstances by now, supposed to have student union government in place. But there are reasons why the university did not do that. But when you have people that want to present picture of something based on their own emotion or interest, they will not even remember to present the reasons why this is not in place. The panel concluded their work, submitted their reports, and we were all invited to Abuja, all the Vice-Chancellor of Federal Universities, along with the chairman of councils. and reports of the presidential visitation panel as it affects every university was submitted to us. And when I received our own, even up to now we are still studying it. And thank God, most of the team they raised, we have started addressing some of them. And registrar is also already making summary of some of the issues so that the Senate, the management will look into some of those things. And we are now going to prepare our proposal to council for implementation of some of this. Now, for that of student union government, immediately I saw that in the report. I called for a meeting of the principal officers and I said we need to start preparing to put in place student union government in this university. But for us to do that, it's not something we are going to rush into. We have to plan it carefully. We have to screen our environment very carefully. We have bad eggs among students. We have bad eggs among staff. And to me, the first thing is for me to start setting track for some of them. And I've started collecting names, both on the side of students and the staff. Because if you say, yes, you want to force student union government into place, and you want to use it to play your own interests, you may end up having the student government in place at the time that your appointment is being terminated, or at the time that you as a student you are being dismissed. So this I want to make it clear. So, and that is why if you are a staff in this university, you have no business in student union government. It's not part of your role. You have no even any business to start discussing anything about student union government with the students. Those that will saddle responsibility of student affairs, we shall give them guidelines on how to do that. And not everybody can be involved. And I think what will really happen is, it will come to a point that when the student is approaching the staff to even seek for any advice related to SUG, those staff will be running away. Because we cannot sit down and tolerate these kind of things. The way it's happening in other universities, where sometimes, because of student union government, lives and property will be destroyed. And disharmony will be created in the system. Here it will not happen like that. Anybody that thinks he has his own personal interest that will cause this, that person will rather leave our campus. That is just my own. So the issue is, even before the report of the presidential visitation panel, we have started working on the constitution. You know, for the former days here, we've worked on the constitution and we've reached a level where the constitution was presented to Senate for approval. Senate raised some few concerns and we now send that constitution back to a committee to address those concerns and bring it back to Senate for us to address. So you can see that for now, you can say we have constitution in place to guide how the students themselves will participate in bringing their student union government in place. So we are just trying to fine-tune that. Then there is also a committee in place to develop proposal and bring out modality on how and when we are going to put the SUG in place. So, but I'm surprised that the committee is still working. The report has not come to me. And even if the report comes to me, even I as Vice-Chancellor, I don't have that right to say this is how SUG will start, this is the date they will do it. It is a Senate matter. that importance will go to Senate. Senate is going to bring out guidelines. Your own constitution is for your student governance. There will be guidelines that Senate will bring out. Whoever is to come for this position within the university, we want to recognize so character, so capacity. Senate should spend that one. Apart from that, University Management Committee will also sit down and bring guidelines on how staff, or who are those staff that will be involved in guiding the student to carry out all their necessary activity to put in place the SUG. So we have not reached here, and people are ready before we cannot say yes, we have a SUG in place. So this, I want us to note that we are working hard to see that we have SUG that will promote the image of this university. It's not the SUG that will damage the image of the university. So the management is not ready to allow anybody to come and play its own interest. It's the interest of the university that all of us must be pursuing. That's on that. That's the second one. We had that some students are grumbling about the e-learning charges. That they said there will be some e-learning charges. Yes, there will be e-learning charges, but for some category of students. For some category of students. All of us know that we have two sets of 100 level students in this university, two sets. And the total number of 100 level students in this university is about 7,000. And if not for the e-learning that we put in place, we cannot handle that. Even bigger universities that are bigger than this university, 7,000 students at 100 level, it will be difficult for them to manage. But we use e-learning to address this. And all of you, if not because the management has to apply critical thinking to solve this problem, some of you will even have it difficult to have your lectures sufficiently in this university. Because we don't have that infrastructure to accommodate just one level, 7,000. And it was because we brought in e-learning that we were able to handle that. And we ended our first semester successfully without any problem. So, and with this e-learning, there are a lot of things that we have achieved. Some of you may not know, because it is only those that are concerned or that are affected that can know this. And I can tell you, there is no any 100 level student that will say he had any frustration in the first semester lectures. We were more comfortable. So, and because of that, we have spent a lot. Because when we brought this, we said the first set of 100 levels should do their lecture physically, while the second set should go online. And at the same time, not all students can go online, because some of them may not have data, and some of them, a lot of them were on ground, and they were attending classes where the first sets were to cause confusion. And JAM has also strictly told us, if we are combining two sets of students, we should make sure that they should carry their different years of admission. So we should make sure we don't have confusion in putting them together. So there should be a system in such a way that we can distinguish 2021 sets from 2022 sets. So, and when we saw that there will be confusion, personally, I have to identify some students and I brought them to interrogate them. What is the problem? Why are you attending class with those people who say you should not? They say they don't have data. And I said, okay, if you don't have data, we are going to make provision on how you can be attending your class also. That was when we now open a hall there. Whatever that is already uploaded in Google Classroom, and I said we should project it for them. And that has addressed a lot of problems. And because of that particular concern the student raised, I quickly also commissioned a company that we need to have a fiber optic around this campus so that we create hotspots. So students may not need to be in the classroom as we pull them in the hall before projecting. We don't need to do that. Even under the tree, from your phone, you can attend your class. So, and as I'm talking to you, when the company finished their proposal, they submitted to me in the office telling me the locations where we are to start, the first phase, where we are to get the hotspots. They talk of this admin, they talk of the other MIS office there, Adamu here, and then Faculty of Art, Faculty of Science, and another location, library, about 6 locations. And I told them, I said, look, you have to extend this to hostel. You have to extend it to hostel. So students can even remain in the hostel and do all their lectures online. So that will really reduce the traffic within the campus. And that is the one they are already doing now. So the moment they finish that, our e-learning has come to stay. We don't need to say, a student will be saying, we don't have data. And now, how are we going to recoup this money that we are spending to put the fiber optics around the university? Government is not giving us any money to do this. We are the one that source for money to do this. And now, even the e-learning activity we had in the first semester, we did it in such a way that charges we collected from students sustain that particular activity. And it is also meant for only 100 level, since only 100 level that are involved now. So the issue now is 100 level are the one to pay for that e-learning charges in the second semester. Then we have also said, okay, we want to extend this to PG students. Because we have a lot of people in Abuja, they want to come here for postgraduate program, but they are looking at the distance. And that's why we have e-learning already. They were so excited. Many of them want to come to this university. They can be in their office or in their house and attend our class or Google Classroom. And that's okay. The PG program, we identified few PG programs that will also be online. And we cannot do that also free. We have to charge for it. That is for PG students. Then we have continuing education students, which also we are planning to also put them in under the e-learning. So these are the category of students for now that are affected. But meanwhile, even for other levels, there are issues. There is no federal university today that will say they have sufficient lecturers for all the courses they have in their departments. And we have sent the Directorate of E-Learning to various faculty or departments to identify courses that we don't have lecturers. We want to engage some lecturers from other universities so that through our e-learning they can lecture our students too. And we have identified so many models of this e-learning for them. Some of them may be in their university, they will record their lectures and send it to us, we edit it and upload on our Google Classroom. Some of them may want to interface with our students online, they can stay in their university and then lecture our students here. That's another model. So a lot of advantage is coming up for us. Even the lecturers, some of them that are resisting before, they don't want this e-learning, this or that. Later on, they find out that this is even the easiest thing for them. You can interact with your students, harvest their comments, address it, send it back to the Google Classroom. You can also appraise them, assess them online, and the only thing is just for you to print your record sheet. You don't need to sit down and be typing anything. just to use our work. And most of our lecturers now that are even invited as external examiner in another university, they stay in our own lecture studio here to examine, send all this message to your people. It's very, very important. And we need to be patient. The issue of the SUG, we are going to put it in place, but then all of us, we must conduct ourselves in a way that the SUG will be put in place and there will still be harmony in this campus. That is just our concern. So, this is the reason why I called for this meeting, and I want to thank all of you for coming. I may allow 2 comments from students, 2 comments from staff, and BBC admin will now talk to give his remark. So, you can handle the
3 fundamental brothers to the Vice-Chancellor. Bosa! 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 3 area to his enemies. Iya! Iya! Iya!
We thank you very much, Mr. Vice-Chancellor. We'll take comments from the students first. Comments?
Yes, in protocol. Good morning, Mr. Vice-Chancellor, the DAC presence, the directors and the deans. Good morning. First, I would like to say thank you, Mr. Vice-Chancellor, for always being there for every student of this university. For indeed, sir, you are an architecture of design. You came into the university, you structured the university. We've seen it. For some of us that started this 100 level, it's not like this. To be frank, sir, we are proud of you. And we want to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for sending the servants like you to our university. And again, sir, inshallah, with all what you said today, I think I have to sit down with the faculty president, with the departmental president, with the traditional president, and sit down and explain everything to them. To be frank, sir, I have no clue, I have no idea to explain to them. The pressure was much, we were criticized. That is why I have to pressure the management within the weekend for me to have good information. I called some of my SRC members to come along so that they will hear and listen directly from you. And I assure you, sir, we are going to sit down with all the students, and believe me, sir, they will listen, inshallah. They will do that. So, thank you. Sorry, my name is Comrade Ibrahim Ogabo Ismaila, the SRC President, Student Representative Council.
My name is Comrade Shehu Abdul Rahman, founder student of Mathematics Department. I'm the Deputy Speaker of the SRC. Thank you very much, sir, for these clear ideas you've shared with us. And we are very much proud that Federal University of Lafia is competing with the international system of the university. And we are very proud to say we've been preaching to the students that either the British system of government, the Arab system of government, and even the acclaimed democracy we are practicing in Nigeria, what we need to achieve is the giant strive of the aims and objectives of governance. And given either SRC or SUG, we are still operating to achieve that giant strive. And we continue to preach that to them. And we appreciate and we call on this committee and the management to never look at the bad aspect, but to also consider that based on international standard, they have been preaching democracy, and we should not look at the bad side coming up. We should also consider putting the SRC in place so that the student of this managed school will also have that first-hand experience of how elections those go in the wider range and to participate in the circular politics thereafter the graduation. And I assure you, if we put that in place, even the issues we are having with the alumni will be addressed, because we have experienced elections in the university. Handling the alumni will not be a case. Secondly, in the issue of e-learning, we appreciate how you extend it to all the cases we've having, because it's very true. There are courses that we are lacking lecturers physically. And what triggered the angers and the concern was about the doubling of the price or the charges, because it was initially said to be 4,000 naira and then later 8,000 naira. And we are very clear and we have what to say to the students, but we equally plead that even though we have what to tell the student that this is the reason why this charges is put in place, for the first time we plead with the management on behalf of the entire students, if these charges will be reversed to the area 4,000 naira.
They're operating. We don't find out that some students don't have data. And how can we help them? Is for us to create hotspots around the campus. So that's the essence why we call a company, we negotiated with them to come and put this fiber optics around the campus. So you can see we want to offset that cost. We government has not given us, and on our own we have to source for money elsewhere for the interest of the students. So that amount we double is to take care of this facility we are putting in place. So you should explain to them. But if they don't, if you say we should reduce it, then I'll call the company to come and remove their fiber optics. Then you look for your data again. But this is the reason why we increase it. Because we are putting some facility in place, at least.
Students, you have to support the management. Because if there is no peace on this campus, your progress, your educational trajectory will be truncated by the same action of yours. So we need to talk to ourselves. We need to emphasize the fact that we should support the management in whatever way and avoid anything at all that will lead to crisis on campus. On this note, I want to thank the Vice-Chancellor for this meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. The Deputy Vice-Chancellor, Administration, sir.
Mr. Vice-Chancellor, sir, thank you so much for convening this meeting. Like I told you earlier, I was also met with this group at 8:30 in the morning. But when I got the notice of this meeting, I consulted with your peers and said, since you are going to meet, I've cancelled that. And luckily enough, the issues you have discussed, the issues you have analyzed for all of us were the issues that we're going to have talked and to report back to you before the 10 o'clock meeting today. So thank you so much for being more proactive than me. And like you said, maybe before then, what I want all of us to know, especially the students, is that even these charges that you think are used for those, the BC subsidizes also. When NEPA last week, with the bossa and director of works, where we're discussing NEPA bill and so on, the charges that students paid for the hostel accommodation will never cover those bills. He does add more money. Don't ask me where he gets the money, I don't even know. Because I know capital expenditure and so on and not go. So also for the other things that are done in the university, including the e-learning that you're talking of. And look, now we have had now, yesterday, there was day yesterday when the SRC president was talking of, people are talking of 200 to 400 level. You now know that those charges are even for 100 level, second semester, some PG programs, some continuing education programs. So I don't know where you got those information. Now you have had. But the thing to bear in mind by all of us is that it is the system that he keeps on saying that we should protect and work for. And all of us are stakeholders, and the only way we can do that is to key in to his vision of working for this system. I'm begging all of us. Last note, the two committees that are working, both the Student Welfare Committee and the...
I want to thank you so much, sir, because you always say you should be proactive, not reactive. So that's one of the issues here. I want to thank you so much. I want to thank the Deputy Vice-Chancellor, all other staff and our students for coming here. And I hope you are going to pass the message as you promised to your fellow students so that they will be calm. Then understand the situations of the Vice-Chancellor and the university management. I always counsel us that always be appreciative.
Amen. Thank you all.